Hi, Maien. Right, I'm just answering your question here. I'm actually glad you've picked the labor hour rate. I'm just going to apologize in advance. You might hear some just children making noise in the background. Apologies. I've tried to shut them away. Right, so here the argument here is that we believe that certain overheads are driven by certain activity. So the argument here is they are asking you to calculate based on all of these activities. So the argument here is that for A, they believe that labor hours are what are responsible for driving activity or causing this overhead. So we have, if you like, the argument here is they tell us that you need 10 hours per unit. You're making 40 units. So in effect, you will have 400 labor hours here, right? Because if you have 10 hours for every unit, if you make 40 units, you will have 400. 10 times 40. And here, if you have 16 hours per unit and you have 50 units, you will have 16 times 50. And let me just calculate that very quickly. 16 times 50 gives us 800 hours. And here you will have 24 times 60 times 60, and you will have 1440 hours. So we're arguing that all these hours, they're all the same type of hours, if you like. There's no special hours. All these hours, if you like, caused this overhead. So 400 hours plus 800 hours plus 1440 hours caused this overhead of 50,000 pounds. So the question here is, if all these hours, think of it as labor. If you employed labor hours of all of these and you had to pay all these hours £50,000, we're basically asking, well, what's the cost per hour? What's the cost per hour? So the cost per hour really is 50,000 divided by, just change my pen color again, the 400 plus 800 plus 1440. So let's just do that very quickly. Plus 800 plus 400. So this is equal to 50,000 divided by 2640, and this is equal to £18.93. My calculator is rounding up, so I don't know what your calculator is doing, but I will just accept £18.93 per hour. So the next question really here is that the question really says calculate the unit cost of each product. Okay, great. So I know that for product X, direct labor is £10. If you, what does it tell us? It doesn't tell us the, use the information, determine the absorption rate, and then the unit cost. So we're going with labor hour now. So we have the wages given to us. The wages are 122. That's fine. I know that bit. I have to pay labor. That's fact. But in terms of my overhead, I now know that I should charge £18.93 per hour. I mean, let's look at it. If you did £18.93 times, I mean, that's exactly what we're saying. We're saying we just want to know what the charge is per hour. In terms of, because now if I do £18.93 times 400 plus £18.93 times 800 plus £18.93 times 1440, I will get the 50,000, because you see, that's the focus. I'm just trying to split this overhead. Really, that's the key point here. So when they ask you to just focus on X, they're just sort of saying, well, that's the wage per unit. We know that. And you needed 10 labor hours. So therefore, in terms of the overhead that we should give to X, so I'll say that again, the overhead we should give to X, that will be based on £18.93 times 10. And that's 189.3, which I believe your answer is. So this is the overhead cost for just a unit of X, you see. So you are correct, because you see now the full cost of X in effect really is 122.00 plus 189.3. And then this is how I would find it. Your question really was, how do I get back to the 50,000 hours? Well, to do that, you would have to multiply the 18.93 by all the hours in X for that period, which is 400, plus the 18.93 times all the hours in Y, plus the 18.93 times all the hours in Z. So really, the full cost of making a unit of X, of course, is just adding these two things together, which is, here we are, whatever, 2 plus 9, 11, 1, and then 311. So that's the full cost of making unit of X. So they are slightly two different questions, really. Your question is very much focused on this 50,000. And to do that, we just needed to find what the cost is per hour, and then apply that answer of £18.93 to, if you like, to each unit based on the number of hours each unit is generating. Cool, great. I hope that helps. Please write me if it doesn't. Thank you.